here's everything I upcycled this month, and this is the final piece. And I really like the fact that it's like on the sides. Be honest with me, does it remind you of the Minions? Should I have not said that? And I did little like shooting star embroidery. I'm really happy with these. Bam! Oh yeah. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today is something I've never done before. It's a little bit different, but do stay. Even though I've been doing a lot of DIYs recently, I feel like I've definitely stopped making clothes as much as I did last year. Like last year I did a whole custom clothing line collection for my birthday that I loved, and I was really proud of everything we made. I never stopped designing, but I just kind of stopped making. And so I thought, as a fun little thing, every now and then I'll make one of these videos that's like, here's everything I upcycled this month or made this month. I get to showcase all the pieces I've made, whether it be for me or stuff that I'm selling, so that you guys can see some of the process. And if you like making clothes but need some inspiration, you can use this video as that. To kick it off, I feel like we'd start with the thing that I'm most proud of, and that is the hoodie I am currently wearing. I made this blue, quite like heavyweight hoodie with stars on it here and here. Rabbit ears on the hood. You can tell this is like a smidge core. Quite a lot of the clothes that I make to sell are like smidge core stuff. And then I have this at the back, and I hope you can even see that. So I started off with this base that I got from a charity shop. I really like the color. I feel like it's quite like a smidge blue, whatever that means. This is what the design looked like on paper. As you can see from the sketch, the original idea was to just sew the sleeves on, but then once I had switched to this base, which is the zip instead, the sizing would just be too like this is clearly like a boxy, like baggy fit. The sleeves were just not gonna work. That's when I decided to cut the stars and sew them on separately instead. This hoodie was probably featured in one of my really old charity shop hauls, and I was like, there's stars on this sleeve, I can use that. And then I just like never did. Here I'm finally doing it. And once I got all those stars, I went to work on placing them on the sleeves. I think I watched 3 Iron Man movies just sewing on the stars. So then for the hood, instead of sewing on the hood that I had from this other hoodie, I just cut the ears off and I sewed them on. I also folded them over while I was sewing, so that it had this actual like rabbit ear. Before they were just like this, and this way it's more like a folded ear. I added this like flap of t-shirt to kind of be like, you know. And the final edition was taking this print that was on this god-awful textured t-shirt and sewed it on the back. This is where I let myself have a big thick stitch with an embroidered thread, because why not? And this is the final piece. Okay, on to the next one. This is another one of those things where it's probably featured in a charity shop haul 100 years ago, where I bought these jeans and I was like, oh my god, this would be so good to upcycle, and then never did anything with them. Like, I originally bought this for myself. I'm giving it a second life. It was a pair of Ragged Priest jeans, and here's my sketch. See, I was gonna keep them as jeans but add the stars on, but I couldn't find any fabric that actually matched these colors, so I just thought, no, I'm gonna make them shorts and then use the opposite fabric. Then I know for a fact that it matches. And I really like the fact that it's like on the sides. I do really like this distressed, I don't know what to call this thing on the sides, so because of that I kind of matched that with my sewing, and I really do think that it matches, and I think it looks really good. I'm not gonna lie, it blends in with the style quite well. Like, you might think that they just came like that. I feel like these with a fun belt and loads of keychains, like that's how I would style them. I want to do a little bit more of a low-key one, also because after this hoodie I think my fingers are gonna like fall off. Okay, this next one is a kind of another simple one before we get more complicated. This is a long white skirt and it had some paint marks on it, so I was like, okay great, what am I gonna do? Oh, add a patch. And I found this thread that kind of matches the stitching that's already on it. And here we go. And I did another star here. I wanted to keep going and honestly add loads of stuff, but I wanted another low-key kind of piece. If you're taking upcycling inspiration from this, sometimes it's nice to take a break from your complicated pieces and finish a shorter piece. You get what I'm saying? Next one. Be honest with me, does it remind you of the Minions? Should I have not said that? I think it's really cute, okay? I had this pair of dungarees, and look at it. I added a fluffy star. It's fluffy. I feel like I did such a good job with the sewing because it's not fraying, like at all. And then I also added some stars. I also added a star at the back. This is a life hack. If you want to add patches and you want to add stars like to things, but you're running out of material, this star actually doesn't have any I hid it in the pocket and then you will never know, except you know, because I just told you. We love. This next one is another pair of dungarees. These will be going up later. I think these and the shorts will be going up like later on because it's still cold, so I'm not going to sell shorts. I mean, I know it's like warm in other places in the world, but spiral dungarees. Oh yeah, and these are like distress. This I kind of like had fun with embroidery. Like I didn't just sew it. I like, oh my god, it's denim. And this is actually the inside of the denim. This is the opposite side. I added stars on the back pockets. And I did little, like, shooting star embroidery. Like, I know it's just, like, an in and out stitch, but, like, I'm so happy with how that turned out. That's so fun. Adorable. This is kind of the honorable mention section because the rest of this stuff is things I've made in videos, so you already have in-depth tutorials for them. But I also made these bleach t-shirts. I'm really happy with these, and I think they look really cool. But yeah, this is the design that I had. I'm gonna put a few of these designs up on the screen. I'm an artist, but I don't, like, draw, really. And so I was really proud with how these designs came out. This is something that also I would actually just wear, but again, I got bills, I gotta pay, so I'm gonna bleach, sew, and craft every day. That was really good. Oh, okay, I'm just gonna throw a picture of everything else that I made in videos this month. Wha-bam! Oh yeah. Look at this. Yes. You want to know how to make all this so bad? Check out my DIY playlist. I would really appreciate some extra support on this video. YouTube really hates to push my videos that aren't snappy DIY videos, but I want to still make stuff that I like. So yeah, hope you understand. I want to become less two-dimensional on here. I feel like my wider audience doesn't really know who I am. Maybe that's a good thing. Don't know. But there are thousands of you that watch me, but I might as well be a still image. Does that make any sense? And if you want to support me, but you don't like any of the clothes that I make, there are plenty of other ways to do that by checking out the shop. You can become a member, you can stream my music on Spotify. That is all. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please make sure to give a like and subscribe. A lot of these pieces were actually made on Twitch live, so make sure to go follow me there. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. And the main place that you want updates for this kind of stuff and everything in general is my Tumblr. It's smidgezz, just like I am everywhere. Okay, thanks guys. Thank you to all the shop supporters. You're amazing. Bye. Bye.